Welcome back to another edition of the Picture Book Post. I'm Dr. Aaron Shaw. Today we're going to be talking about The Scar. This is written by Charlotte Mundlik and illustrated by Oliver Tallix. Let's talk about Oliver Tallix's illustrations first. I actually really like them. I think it does, they're kind of simple, but I think that there's definitely some emotion that's evoked here, and I like where that's kind of gone. I wouldn't call it fantastic artwork, but I certainly like some of the artwork here and think it's a nice job. So for me, the artwork probably gets about a 3 out of 5. The cover of this, I think, is fabulous. All that red space and kind of open space with a very simple and really kind of hits you in the gut title. So The Scar, I think, is a great title for a kid's book. Most kids are going to be a little bit scared of that, but wondering what the heck it's about. And it has a great contrast to the boy that's sitting there looking at the boo-boo on his leg. So what it is basically the concept of this book is that a little boy actually loses his mom. And so he kind of goes through what it's like to be a little boy when your mom dies. And it's a really sad take on it with lots of words, as you can see. But it actually seems to accurately reflect what it would be like for a boy. Now, before you run out and get this and say, oh, it's perfect, I know a boy that's going through a death in his family right now, I would not do that. So we'll talk more about that in a minute. But that's the concept of the book. The scar is just a metaphor for he's got a boo-boo and it really hurts at first, and then it starts to heal and he starts to get better, and then the scab rips off and it hurts even worse. And then by the end of the book, it becomes actually a scar where he remembers that there was a boo-boo, but there isn't all the pain that's still there with it. So that's concept. Really a fantastic concept. I'd probably give the concept on this a 5 out of 5. The writing is really good. I mean, it really demonstrates here's what it would be like to be a little boy going through the death of a parent, and also having another parent that's going through the grieving process as well. I think that the writing is probably not terribly appropriate for kids, though. Again, it's a realistic picture of what that would be like, and some kids are ready for that, and probably most of them that are reading picture books aren't. So there you go. I think, again, good concept, decent artwork, fantastic cover, fantastic title. But in the end, I was talking to my son who read this after I did, and he's 8, and he said he did not like the book very much. And basically what we came up with was the idea that this is a really fantastic book for parents to read. If a spouse dies, it's good for the other spouse to read this book so that they can understand what it's like for a child to go through this awful, painful process. However, kids aren't going to be dying to read about this just for a fun bedtime story. And therein lies the problem. We have a picture book that's really meant for adults, in my opinion, or it's good for adults. So anyway, that's all she wrote for the Picture Book Post. We're grateful for you listening, and we'll talk to you next time on the show.